What's up, guys? Thank you so much for all the love you guys give me, and I'm sorry for not making a video for you last week. But I do want to say that, hey, you know what? Once in a while, it's great to take a break with everything that's happening around. It's better to take a break, take some time to spend with your family. That's what I did last week. Now, for this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you some veggie Manchurian. So, without wasting any more of your time, let's get to it. Alright guys, to make the Manchurian, what I have done is I've used a food processor and finely grinded cabbage, onions, and carrots in here. Now with that, what we're gonna do is we're adding some freshly chopped ginger, some freshly chopped garlic. Now with that, um, I'm adding some fresh chili to it. Now I'm gonna give it a good mix. Alright guys, now that I have everything mixed in together, there is few more things we're gonna add to it. So we're gonna go ahead and add some salt to it. Salt to taste. Just a tiny bit of salt. Now with that, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some fresh black pepper. Sorry, some crushed black peppers. Some soy sauce. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and give it one more mix. And after mixing all of that together, I'm gonna go ahead and add some flour and some cornstarch and make good dough out of it. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and add some flour to it. I'm using maida. You can use wheat flour too if you want to. When you use maida, it gives you the taste of when you eat it outside. Now you don't want to add all the maida at the same time. You want to add a little bit at a time, little bit maida and little bit corn flour. You're gonna make a dough out of it, so when you're making, once you get that consistency where you can make a little round balls, at that point you want to stop. You don't want to add all of it together and then try to make a better dough. So add a little bit at a time, and once you get the right consistency, then you will be ready. At the same time, I'm having my oil get warmed up as well. So I'm just warming the oil. Once the oil is warm, then we're just going to cook it on medium heat. Alright guys, so my flour is ready for making the Manchurian balls. Now this is the consistency you want. You don't want it to be too liquid, because when it's too liquid and when you put it in the oil, it's gonna start breaking. So once you make a good sized ball, all you do is just put it in the oil, and you want to cook this on a medium heat. The reason why you're cooking on a medium heat, it's because if you don't cook it on a medium heat, the manda is not gonna cook well. So it would cook from outside, but from inside your manda is gonna be raw, and then of course you don't want to have that raw taste to it. All you need to do is just cook it for 1 to 2 minutes, and it's going to be ready for you. Alright guys, so our vada is ready. That's how you want your vada to look like. You want to make them in a smaller sizes. You don't want to make it too big. Doesn't have to be perfectly round. This is good as it is. Now for making the rest of the recipe, which is very quick, very easy, you should use a wok. I'm using a wok. You don't have to. If you don't have one, you can just use a regular kadai. That should be fine. Now I have added a little bit of oil in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some chopped garlic to it. So for any time you have had Manchurian outside, you would know that most of the time Manchurian has that garlicky taste to it. So I'm adding some garlic. The reason why I haven't added too much garlic to it, and I'll show you that in just a second. One of the reasons for that is because I don't want it to be too spicy. I'm making it for my dad. He doesn't eat it too spicy, so I'm not making the food very spicy. And plus, anytime you're making Manchurian or anything that's anything that's a Chinese food, you can always add chili sauce to it on top of it. Now once my garlic gets a little bit brown, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add onions and capsicum to it. Now as you can see, I have just made big pieces of this, right? And we're not gonna overcook this, we're just gonna saute them just a little bit. Now just saute it for like 35 to 45 seconds, and once you're done with that, I'm getting very close to that. I'm gonna add some freshly chopped onion chives, and then we're gonna keep some for our dressing. So I'm adding a good about 4 to 5 leaves of onion chives. Now at this point you can lower your heat a little bit if you want to. You don't want to burn your food, so now what I'm going to do for the sourness of it, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of vinegar. Just a tiny bit, you don't want to add too much to it. Now with that, I'm going to add a lot of soy sauce to it. And no, I'm not sponsored by anyone, so I'm not going to show you any of my brands that I'm using until they pay me to sponsor it. Now with that, I'm going to use some chili sauce, sweet chili sauce. Again, I'm using sweet chili sauce so I don't have to add a lot of so that way I don't have to add a lot of sugar to it. And with that, now again, I said we should have a little bit of more garlic in this recipe. So what I'm adding is I'm adding some sriracha. Now the sriracha would give you that little bit of kick. Normally, traditionally, there is traditionally when you make it, there is chili that's added to it. Again, I'm not making it spicy, so I haven't added any chilies to it. Now we're gonna give this a good mix. Now if you were to make dry Manchurian, this is where your recipe would have been done. I am making Manchurian with gravy. I'm gonna have it with some fried rice. Check the link, check my page, you will see the recipe for fried rice. If it's not already up, I'm gonna have it coming up next week for you, but you will definitely see my fried rice there. Now what we're gonna do, while everything is getting mixed up, there is 2 more things we're gonna add to it. Actually 3 more things. So we're gonna add just a little bit of salt. We want to be careful with the salt. The reason for that is because the soy sauce already has a lot of salt to it. So you don't want to make it too salty. Now at the same time, I'm adding some sugar, about 3 to 4 spoons of sugar. And I'm gonna go ahead and add some water to it. And we're gonna let it cook for just a few minutes. Alright guys, so it's been about 4 to 5 minutes since I've been letting it boil. To have a better consistency to the gravy, what we're gonna do to make it a silkier, smoother gravy, at this point I'm gonna go ahead and add some corn flour slurry. Now if you are corn flour is also called cornstarch as well. I mean a cornstarch as well. So if you can't find corn flour, go ahead and find the cornstarch, you'll be fine. And at this point I'm gonna go ahead and add just a tiny bit of cornstarch in there. Make it a smoother gravy. And at this point we're gonna let it cook for 5 minutes, add our Manchurian to it, and it's gonna be all good to go. Alright guys, so looks like our Manchurian is ready. This is the color that you get at the outside when you're buying Indo-Chinese. When you're getting the Indo-Chinese at a restaurant, this is how you'll get your Indo-Chinese. So that's how I made my Manchurian. Now the only thing we're gonna do, the finishing touch, again I said we're gonna keep some chopped green onions, so just adding the chopped onions on top of it for the remaining of the flavor. And then you can use some green onion for making your plating your dish as well. So for me, this is done. It's completely done. Again, as you know, the food is ready. I'm not waiting on you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Until next time, have a great day.